Hello, friends. The 1109th day of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. Today, the Russian army launched an offensive on Sudzha. It is not yet known exactly how far Russian troops have advanced, but it is already obvious that the largest Russian offensive since the start of the Kursk operation of the Ukrainian armed forces is underway. So, Russian troops have taken 3 villages in the Kursk region, Staraya and Novaya Sorochina, as well as Nikolaevka. This follows from the updated map of the Ukrainian military Telegram channel Deep State, and I talked about this in the last video. These villages are located on the northern edge of the Ukrainian bridgehead, in the area of Pogrebki, recently lost by the Ukrainian armed forces. The enemy also published a video today with its flag in the central part of Cherkaskoye Porchnoi, confirming control of this part of the settlement. South of Sudzha, the Russians have expanded the zone of their penetration in the area of the village of Kurilovka. Let me remind you that this penetration threatens to completely cut off almost the entire group of the Ukrainian army in the Kursk region from logistics from the territory of Ukraine. Russian military telegram channels today began writing about the beginning of an offensive on Sudzha. Later, this information was confirmed by Ukrainian media. The Russians used a gas pipeline to attack Sudzha, wrote Butusov, editor-in-chief of the Ukrainian website Censor. Today, an enemy infantry breakthrough was detected near the city of Sudzha. The Russians used a gas pipeline to transfer an assault company unnoticed by drones and wedged themselves into our battle formations, Butusov writes. A number of Ukrainian media outlets suggest that this refers to underground gas pipelines through which Russia supplied gas to Europe through Ukrainian territory until January 1, 2025. The diameter of one pipe is 1.4 meters. Butusov also confirmed the information that Ukrainian troops in the Kursk region are in a difficult situation. The front of the sanitary zone is narrow, and the enemy has taken our communication routes under close fire control from the flanks. Now the situation there is more difficult than in all other sections of the front, writes Butusov. In his opinion, further maintenance of the bridgehead in the Kursk region is not justified from a military point of view. The political motives are clear to everyone, but there must be purely military logic. Now we have lost an advantageous position on the Kursk bridgehead, both tactical and operational. Solutions are needed, writes Butusov. The Ukrainian military telegram channel Deep State also confirms the Russian offensive on Sudzha. It also confirmed that in the morning, the Russians really used the pipe to penetrate into the rear of the armed forces of Ukraine. According to him, how it all actually ended is still unknown. The Telegram channel claims that the striking force of this attack on Sudzha is North Korean troops. The main offensive force of the enemy consists of North Korean soldiers, and they are the ones suffering the greatest losses, writes Deep State. The General Staff of Ukraine also confirmed in a comment to the media that the Russians had penetrated Sudzha through the gas pipeline, but were suffering very heavy losses. The enemy's combined sabotage and assault groups moved along the gas pipeline branch with the aim of gaining a foothold on the outskirts of the city of Sudzha in the Kursk region. At present, the forces of Russian special forces are being identified, blocked and destroyed. The enemy's losses in Sudzha are very heavy, the General Staff stated. They added that heavy fighting continues in the Kursk region. The situation remains difficult, but it is under the control of the Ukrainian command. The enemy has deployed its most combat-ready units for the assault actions. Also, up to 2 battalions of North Korean troops were thrown into the battle, the department reported. The British newspaper The Telegraph also writes about the threat of encirclement of the 10,000-strong group of Ukrainian troops in the Kursk region. The publication links the Russian advance with the disconnection from American intelligence data. The Russian advance along the key route came shortly after the U.S. cut off intelligence sharing with Ukraine. By limiting surveillance, the U.S. will allow the Russians to operate more freely and plan attacks without Ukraine's knowledge, experts say. The article says, Ukrainian intelligence sources told reporters that virtually all U.S. intelligence had been cut off. It is also believed that a significant number of North Korean troops were used in the offensive. Ukraine is now considering withdrawing from the Kursk region to avoid further losses. We want to avoid losses. The fear of encirclement is real, Ukrainian military personnel told the publication. It should be noted that the Russian offensive in the Kursk region began in February and accelerated a week ago, even before the U.S. aid was cut off. The Telegraph journalists were, to put it mildly, mistaken. In the evening, Ukrainian military telegram channels write that the Russians are using North Korean troops en masse near Sudzha, as well as a huge number of drones. Russian telegram channels write that the Russian army has begun to occupy the area of one-story buildings in Sudzha. They also write about battles in the vicinity of this city. To the south of Sudzha, according to Russian telegram channels, units of the Russian army entered the village of Zamosti. To the west, battles are taking place in the villages of Nyozhi and Nyozhi II, and Kozachalaknia, according to their data, has moved into the gray zone. I note that there is no visual confirmation of this information from the Russian side. There has also been no data on significant enemy advances from the Ukrainian side. At the time of writing, the enemy published a video of the installation of its flag in the village of Lebedevka. Friends, this channel exists solely thanks to your support. If you have the opportunity and desire to support the channel, I will be very grateful to you. I also want to ask you to leave comments. This helps promote the channel. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.